Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Akmal and my pair for this lab activity is Muhammad Fahmi. Okay, the synopsis of this lab activity is we learn on how to improve network stability and reduce resource utilization on the HQ network by configuring one of the branch router, which is router 2, as an EIGRP stub router. And these activities also show us the configuration on converging static route with EIGRP by using redistribute option. Okay, that's all for the synopsis.
The objectives of this activity are configure basic EIGRP, configure EIGRP start routing options, and verify EIGRP start routing options. My task in this lab activity is to configure from step 0 until step 2. On step 0, I do the suggested setting configuration on each router. So in this lab activity, we have 3 routers that we use to configure. After that, step 1, I need to configure the addressing and serialing on each router. So I configure, this is the configuration for router 1, and then this is the configuration for router 2, and last one is the configuration for router 3. After I complete the configuration on these 3 routers, I will verify the connectivity by pinging across each of the local networks that connected to each other. Next, I will issue the show IP interface brief command on each router. This command displays a brief listing of the interfaces, their status, and their IP address. So at my right side, this is the IP interface brief for router 1. So that after I completed the configuration on step 1A, this is the result, the gigabyte and the serial link. Okay. Then for the router 2, so this is the configuration that I have already done and the previous step. Next, this is for the router 3. Next step is step 2. So in this step, I will configure EIGRP. First, enable EIGRP as 100 for all interfaces on R1 and R2. For my reference, these are the command which can be used. So on R1, I use this command. So I use router EIGRP 100. Next, I assign network 10.0.0.0. On router 2, I do the same configuration in command, but I apply the network 192.168.0.0 0.0.255.255. Next, I summarize the R2 loopback interfaces in its EIGRP update to R1 using manual summarization. So this is the command that I already used on R2. First is I apply interface S20 by following my DNS. Next, I apply command IP summary address EIGRP 100 192.168.0.0 255.255.248.0. C. I configure a static route on R2 to R3 line. Configure a default static route on R3 forwarding all traffic to R2. So on R2, I apply command IP route, the destination 10.1.5.0 255.255.255.0, and the route is 10.4.4.2. Then on router 3, I apply command IP route 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0, and the route is 10.4.4.1. Next, D, I will verify that R2 and R3 can ping the other LAN interfaces. So I already ping the each router. For router 2, this is my ping, so I ping 10.1.5.1, so the result is successful rate is 100%. So on router 3, I ping 10.3.3.1, so the result also successful is 100%. Then verify the EIGRP, the neighbor relationship between R1 and R2 with the show IP EIGRP neighbors command. Verify that R1 is receiving a summary route for R2's loopback network. The output for R2 is as follows. So I use the show IP EIGRP neighbors, and this is the result of the command. Next, the last step on step 2 is to examine R1 routing table with the show IP route EIGRP command. So I follow this command and R1. So IP route. So what the result that I get is same as the example. So here you can see that we have the connected, local, and EIGRP. Okay. For the last from my session is does R1 have a route to R3 LAN? Why or why not? My answer is R1 doesn't have a route to R3 LAN because R2 Stub routing is not included its static route in its EIGRP to update it to R1. That's all from me. Now I will pass to Akmal to continue the step 3 until step 5.
Okay, now let's proceed to step 3, which is to configure and verify EIGRP start routing. Okay, in order to configure router 2 as an EIGRP start router, we can apply this command on router 2. Then we can examine it by running this command on router 2. Okay, so what EIGRP start options are implemented by default? Okay, so there are only two options that are implemented by default, which are connected and summary. Okay, next, after we configure stub routing on router 2, we can see the EIGRP route on router 1, which this is from router 2 LAN, this is the network between router 2 and router 3, and this is the router 2 loopback summary. Next, show IP. Okay, this command is just to show it is to verify that R1 sees R2 as a start router. Okay, next, step 4 is to configure and verify EIGRP start routing option static, connected, and summary. Okay, so in order to combine static route from R3 to EIGRP, we can apply this command. Then we need to advertise it to R1 by using this command. Okay, after that, show IP route from router 1. Okay, why does R1 only have R2 static route to R3's LAN? And what do you need to do so R1 includes the previous EIGRP routes? Okay, the answer is because R2 start routing only advertise static route from R2 to R3, which is this command. So in order to include the previous EIGRP routes, R2 needs to advertise the connected, summary, and static routes. Okay, next, this command is just to show the what router to advertise, which is static. same goes to this command. Okay, this one to use 3 options which are connected, summary, and static. Okay, after we apply this command, or after we advertise these 3 routes to router 1, then only router 1 can show all the EIGRP routes, including the external, which is the static routes that come from router 3. Okay, then this is the command that just want to show or want to know what router 2 advertise to router 1. You only advertise connected, static, and summary. Okay, next try to ping R1 to R3 LAN. Okay, successful. R3 ping R1, successful. That means that the configuration that I've made before is correct. Okay, the last step is to configure and verify EIGRP start routing option to receive only. Okay, let's change to receive only. Okay, what EIGRP routes do you expect R1 to have in its routing table? Okay, the answer is there will be no EIGRP routes show in R1 routing table because the receive only keyword will restrict the R2 from sharing any of its routes with any other router in the EIGRP autonomous system. So we can try to show IP route here. There will be no EIGRP routes available, and it shows here receive only appear advertising no routes. So for the troubleshooting part, I'll try to ping R1 to R3 and R3 to R1. R1 to R3, R3 to R1. Okay, R1 to R3 is not successful. Same goes to R3 to R1. This is because the options receive only on router 2 restrict the router 2 from sharing any of its routes to the other routers. So how to solve it? We just advertise the connected, summary, and static routes to the other routers. Okay, after we apply that command, then only we can ping router 3 from R1 and ping R1 from router 3. I think that's all from us.